What is up, my dudes? We've got the Corporate Esports Association Dota 2 Spring 2019 tournament going on. We've got Game 2 of Facebook Mid or Newsfeed versus CapOne What's in Your Warlock. Facebook Mid or Newsfeed. They're a game up right now, and like I mentioned in the first game, this commentary is going to be a little bit different to the usual because I'm playing. So I already know the outcome of this game, so it's kind of hard to keep the hype factor going. So hopefully I can just give some of my thoughts that I had throughout the game, what I remember from this game, and maybe there's a thing or two to learn from that, maybe some self-reflection. It would be good for me. So this draft is opening pretty much the same as it did last time. We banned the exact same heroes, the Doom Baddie and Mars. And What's in Your Warlock, they decided to switch it up. They still banned Senking and Crystal Maiden. And just like the previous match, I'm laughing at this Crystal Maiden ban because I wasn't planning on picking her. But Strawberry Cheesecake looked at my profile. It was like 600 games on Crystal Maiden. So there was a bit of a chuckle there. And they ended up banning the Morphling instead of Ursa. And we got first pick again. They won the coin flip in the first game, and then they picked second pick, and then because they lost the previous game, they have second pick again. So, and they did ban Warlock, so it's like, all right, let's just pick Warlock again. He's a pretty fucking good hero. So I had no qualms about this.
Hurry.
And I remember not really knowing What's in Your Warlock wanted to pick, because last time they opened with not a very strong duo. It was like Grimstroke and Sven. They're okay, but it's not like a duo who will make you feel pretty scared in the game, because they're both pretty greedy heroes. Well, the Sven especially, if he's in the carry position, he doesn't really want to join the fights too early on. But they pick Pango, and at this point I was like, alright, this game is getting interesting, because Pango is a very high octane hero, so we were like, alright, well, we're gonna have to fight early on. The Chaos, the Rock is pretty nice for cancelling TPs, but I mean, Pango is like, it's pretty inconsequential if you get stunned by the Rock, because it only stuns for a second.
5 seconds remain.
And one of the good things about picking Pango this early is you don't know if he's going to be mid or off lane, or even that position 4, but they picked Nyx Assassin, who they take Nyx from us, which is a bit unfortunate, because Nyx definitely did a pretty good job last game. It is pretty decent against Pango. You can, it's kind of hard to spike Carapace the Swashbuckle, but it's definitely annoying for Pango. One thing to note is Fatal Bonds does not get reflected. You can't get Spike Carapace by Fatal Bonds, which is it's interesting. I feel like it doesn't work that way, but maybe you can't Blade Mail Fatal Bonds damage, so it's kind of a similar thing. So we picked Rubik here because ABC was like, oh, I want to try and steal the Pango ult, and I was like, okay. Because Rubik is not a really strong hero, and we've opened with this like Warlock Rubik support duo who aren't very strong in lane. The Fatal Bonds is really nice, but Rubik as a 4 position I feel is very underwhelming, especially compared to Nyx. But I mean, there's some pretty good steals so far, so it could be okay. Like if we steal Impale, that's really nice because it's super easy to land with Rubik instead of like as Nyx Assassin. So we were kind of banking on the fact that we wanted to get Rubik to steal Rolling Thunder and teamfight our way through the game.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
So we also banned Dusa because we were thinking, like, you know, they picked Nyx Assassin. It means like these heroes that are also countered by Nyx Assassin are pretty free to pick on What's in Your Warlock, because it's kind of like that. You already have the counters to the Dusa or the Ember Spirit, right? So like you just pick them. So we banned Dusa and kind of thinking this was going to be an offlane Pango. We're still not really sure. I didn't find any games where they played Pango before this, so I was a little bit surprised. So they banned Bloodseeker, which I kind of like, afterwards I really regretted not just picking Bloodseeker outright, because We should have picked it. It's such an easy Pango counter now that the Rupture is lethal again. It makes this hero useless, and they already picked a 4 position, so Pango has to go off lane. He can't go into the other support role. So I actually like really regret not picking up this Bloodseeker. It would have made this game so much easier. And then we also banned DP for similar reasons, and also it kind of leaves the Rubik open. Like he can play mid Rubik, but it's pretty uncommon. It wasn't on the radar for us, I guess. So maybe what's in your Warlock aren't 4D chessing their way into thinking we have a Rubik mid, but they banned the Wind Ranger instead because it's a pretty strong hero against the Pangolier in lane. And they picked Spectre really early on, which I think was a bit of a deny pick, to be honest, because we already have Warlock, so Spectre would be really good with us. So I think this was a pretty smart pick by What's in Your Warlock, and they've already got this Pangolier who can make a lot of space in the mid game, and his one big counter Bloodseeker wasn't picked in the first phase, so I feel like we kind of fucked up here a little bit.
5 seconds remain.
So at this point we're trying to decide if we want to go toe-to-toe in the late game with the Spectre, or we want to try and end this early. We have the Warlock, who's probably one of the best supports in the late game, but Rubik, he's gonna completely fall off this game already. I'm already having some bad feelings about the Rubik pick. We picked the Centaur instead, so someone to help us initiate and start fights, someone who can pressure the Spectre a pretty decent amount in the lane, and also just being able to stampede away from the Pangolier and the Spectre ulti was like something that we wanted to do.
Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Hurry!
I'm kind of
hurry.
expecting What's in Your Warlock to pick their other support in this pick. I mean, there's a lot of options on the table. I think they end up going Lich, but I can't remember at this point. I think we were kind of worried about Lich because Lich would cause a lot of problems for us. They'd be able to match our team fight, which we have a pretty decent amount of, especially if Rubik gets good steals, but it's pretty difficult to rely on, and now it's with the Spectre pick as well. It's going to be pretty hard for Rubik to get any big plays with Blink because she's a pretty natural Radiance carrier, and they picked Dazzle, so here it's just to keep the Spectre alive and also provide a save because we're pretty front loaded right now on damage.
Ten seconds to pick.
So we're looking for the mid at this point, I think. I honestly don't remember this part of the draft. I can't even remember which heroes we picked, to be honest.
Dire's ban.
Wraith King.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we decided to go with Wraith King. We wanted to hit a mid-game timing with like a minus Radiance Wraith King, a mid to late game timing. So we knew like Wraith King was already gonna have a good lane with the Warlock. So also I think Wraith King, he's still a pretty decent hero even after like a few nerfs to the Skelebros, the boys. But we were also hoping that the boys would help us push pretty fast as well, because right now our team is kind of missing that, like, I feel like Wraith King ticked a lot of the boxes for our team right now, because it's someone who can fight relatively early, and has pretty decent push with the boys, can farm pretty fast with the boys. The boys make a big difference for Wraith King. And it's like sort of late game-ish against the Spectre. You can like, with enough lives, you can like match the Spectre.
Radiance ban.
And for mid, we were thinking of. I mean, we can't take Wind Ranger anymore, which would have been pretty nice against Pangolier. I think we're still not sure at this point if Pango is mid or off lane, and I think What's in Your Warlock have done a pretty good job in masking that. Because if we go too hard on countering the mid Pango, they can just pick something that counters our mid. And our lanes aren't very flexible, as the Centaur and Wraith King. I guess like Wraith King can get off lane, but safe lane Centaur is it's not very good. So we bent Husker because we don't want to get cheesed out here. And Husker would be able to like shred our backline right now. Just jump on top of the Warlock and Rubik, and I guess Rubik can use telekinesis, but that's basically all he's got. You don't want to steal anything from Husker. And because we don't have the last pick, we try and pick a hero who's like pretty safe and can win most of their matchups. So we picked the Razor because I think it's an okay pick overall. You usually can't go wrong with Razor.
10 seconds to pick. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry!
We're not really sure what they're gonna pick either. So, what's in your Warlock? They respond with a Lesh pick, and it's actually not a very good matchup for Razor, because you gotta run into the Edict and the Pulse Nova, and it's kind of rough for the Razor. So, what's in your Warlock have a pretty scary draft, and we're kind of... I wouldn't have said I thought we were screwed, but I thought we were at a pretty big disadvantage after the draft. This What's in your Warlock have such a scary lineup, a lot of team fight, a lot of just AoE damage, and for a Warlock and a Rubik, it's pretty hard to stay alive against all this damage output. Even the Razor might struggle a little bit as well. But ABC again shows up in the anime ladies here. I remember being pretty salty about that. I was like, it's always ABC, and it's never me, and I'm the captain. So, I thought it was always the captain. But anyway, let's move into the game. So on the side of Facebook Video Newsfeed, we've got myself, Vintage, on the Warlock. Actually, I don't need to do intros. I did the intros last game. I don't think the players changed between the games. There's a lot of Seb calls. And BS with his pathetic level 100 Seb. Look at that, so short. And GH with the big boy Sebs. He spent a lot of money on his battle pass. He's on like level 1200 or something crazy like that. So pretty normal lane setup so far. I'm not expecting anything crazy like Penga going in the safe lane, or even Penga going mid and off lane the Shrek. That just seems a bit wild. Although Nick Slash, if you can land the double stun, is a pretty strong lane. So the possibilities are there. You could be one of these like Southeast Asian teams. And I walked back uphill, even though I kind of thought they would be there, and I get Impale onto the Warlock, and a big swashbuckle onto the other side, and just Nick's still chasing me down, and it's pretty important that I dodge the Impale here, but I step right next to this thing, so there's no way for me to dodge it, and it's just time to try and get as much damage as possible. But Strawberry Cheesecake gets the first blood. Normally. Oh, sorry. And Wraith King, he isn't able to get either of them because the Penga swashbuckled forward. In the meantime, top, there's a lot of action up there as well. Slick Willy went down on the Dazzle. I didn't even see that. Oh, I had to sneeze earlier. That was terrible. But mid lane, I think this is pretty Leshrac favored. They both don't have a whole lot of base damage. You can steal some from the Leshrac, but he's a pretty fast boy. 329 move speed at the start of the game, although he managed to get 15 damage off the Razor. And a big split earth this early. Razor's taking a ton of damage here.
A bit faster.
Yeah, that's what happened. I remember now. They dropped a drum here, the one of these Dota the Battle Pass drums, and then we tried to hit it, but you can't hit the enemy drums, and we got jebaited in really deep. And that's the excuse I made at the time. But we'll see how much Centaur is able to pressure the Spectre. I wasn't really paying attention to how this lane was going. I thought it would go okay for us. But at the same time, there's a Dazzle, so it could be pretty scary once Dazzle hits level 3. There's a lot of damage from the Poison Touch, to be honest. So Razor getting an early CS lead and managing to get another pretty big static link on the Lash. He has lost half his damage pretty much, so it's pretty difficult to last hit, especially uphill as well. And Ro8 getting pretty low, but he's going to be okay. And there's a surprising amount of damage coming out of this lane, right? The Nyx with the long duration Impale. This skill stuns for quite a while. The Wraith Fire Blast comes out onto the Pangoli. He's getting really low, but he's still fatal bonded to the creep, so he could go down here, but Tango will heal him up. It's only 13% damage split at level 1, so it's not the best spell. Right, Static Link on the Lesh, and Razor denies the Arcane Rune, but a big Diabolic Edict, level 2 on the Razor. Razor's gonna go down here. A solo kill for CSC. It's pretty big for him. Top lane. Centaur getting chased down as well. He's forced to hoof stomp, and a telekinesis would drag the Spectre back. But Centaur is getting pretty low. He doesn't have a salve right now, so it's going to be pretty risky to return to the lane. No double edge to... Actually, I don't think you can deny yourself with double edge either. But yeah, I mean the lanes from CapOne What's in Your Warlock is a lot better this game. We were really surprised at how well they fought back this game. We don't have the strongest laners either. Mid lane, we kind of got countered a little bit with the Slash, so it was a pretty rough start. So it's been a rough start so far for us. Warlock getting low again. I've had to use my heal multiple times on him, so that's less fatal bonds. It's not ideal. And Nyx doesn't really care too much about this fatal bond spell. A big crit from the Wraith King here, but he's getting really low. He's gonna take out the Nyx, but he's gonna get taken down in the meantime. And I'm just juking it out with this Pango, and I think I'm gonna get the kill here. There you go. So I felt like king of the hill there. It's time to spam the Lakat Matatag. I spent a lot of money on these battle passes I've earned it. Pay to win. And Dazzle also going to get taken down here, so 4 for 4 on the scoreboard now. And things have turned around a little bit in that last minute. And the 5-minute battle runes are going to come up soon. So it's at this point you need to try and push the waves in so that the other support, they need to give up experience to take the rune. Or they're forced to play like near their tower if the wave's pushing in. So Lesh is still falling behind a bit in last hits. Even though he got a solo kill, he's still behind in experience. And another plasma field comes out. And this is an interesting build from the Razor. I feel like we normally see the max unstable current first. It helps you farm a lot faster. It used to be Razor's ultimate in Dota 1, but he's got this new Eye of the Storm one. I mean, Eye of the Storm existed in Dota 1, but I went for the rune, but I didn't realize Lesh was here as well because no one called missing, and I get taken out here because it's a Lesh. I can't really run away from him, so it's pretty much what I was expecting. So it's going to be 3 bounty runes going the way of Prime Courier again. So they got 3 at the 5-minute runes last time, and we felt pretty bad about it. Spectre getting low, doesn't have a ring of health yet. What's the Spectre going for? There's a lot of gold banked up, so I think she's gonna walk to the side shop and maybe buy tread straight up, I guess. Could have bought that earlier for the at least the boots part. And Slick Willy, he gets pulled in, but there's no mana for a stomp. So Slick Willy is going to be able to get away here, and maybe he's getting quite low now as well. And ABC gets a kill on Slick Willy just while I was looking away. And the TP top, but it gets cancelled. Lesh decides to hold his TP. So Arcane Rune at top, and GH sees this, so he should try and take it from the Lesh here. Let's see if Lesh is able to catch up, but he's pretty low on mana. And Spectre goes down as well. I should just watch this top lane. What am I doing? Swashbuckle will completely whiff here and double fatal bonds on the creep wave, but not really hitting the heroes. And Nyx, he gets slammed with a Wraith Fire Blast, but a Spike Carapace will help him get away here. Still taking a lot of damage from the Shadow Word. It's level 2 Shadow Word, and another Swashbuckle onto Rawkhawk, and Rawkhawk's actually getting quite low himself. Can't stay for too long. I think I have to use another Shadow Word on him, but that means that's the last of my mana. I do have 4 stick charges, so I can have a Fatal Bond still. Nice dodge on the Split Earth, and he could probably run down the Lesh if he wanted to. It'd be pretty difficult though, because now he's behind the tower. And Lesh is also way faster. Razor doesn't have boots yet at all. Spectre gonna go for a Wraith Band, so not gonna go straight for the Radiance. We'll see what she wants to go for this game. Telekinesis into a Hoof Stomp, but Slick Willy, he's on a point in grave, so he should be okay. And Rubik's in a lot of trouble now. He does have Telekinesis for 25 seconds, and a Hoof Stomp, it's up in 4 seconds, but he needs to stay together with maybe so there's no Desolate damage. ABC looks like he's gonna go down. He's gonna try and deny himself the neutral creeps, but he doesn't get it. The Shadow Poison finishes him off. A slice of the hacks from Centaur will finish off the Dazzle, but now Centaur's gonna go down to the Spectre. Spectre, he's gonna get a solo kill, but he reaches the creep wave. A Hoof Stomp will slow Spectre down a little bit, and he has no mana for a dagger, or he does with the stick, but it's on cooldown. So Centaur's gonna get out of there. And Warlock manages to get a kill onto the Pango at bot in the meantime, just when I wasn't looking.
Double desolation.
Double damage on the Lesh, but it's not the best rune on him, but any damage is good damage. He doesn't have a whole lot of damage in his right clicks. He doesn't have a whole lot of armor either. He's getting one shipped his way, but the Lightning Storm, Split Earth gets cancelled by the Telekinesis, but he's still got it. Could be pretty scary. He's gonna run him down with the Edict, but the Edict, that's a bit of a wasted Edict there.
Dire structures are fortified.
And Razor's taking the mid tower in the meantime. He's starting to pull ahead a bit on experience, almost a level up on the Lesh. And ABC in a lot of trouble now. The Split Earth, he doesn't go for it. He ends up whiffing the Split Earth because it's going to be pretty big. But there's 3 heroes top now. There's not really a way for ABC to get out of here. Although he has Telekinesis getting it in 4 seconds. The Hoof Stomp as well. So maybe CSC will be in a bit of danger here. But there's Nyx here now as well. Split Earth hits the Centaur into an Impale, and he's going to go down. Spectre's also just left the lane completely. Went to the shrine.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
And ABC, he's stuck up here. He's in trouble. He's still. He's gonna TP out of here. Nyx isn't gonna get there in time. So GH manages to take the mid tower in that time, which is a pretty big boon for him. Wraith King, his ulti gets popped. He's gonna Wraith Fire Blast Strawberry Cheesecake again, and the Rolling Thunder and Swashbuckle. It's gonna be super difficult to take him down, but might be possible. Razor needs to not show himself with the passive, and the Plasma Field comes out. The Rolling Thunder to get away there, and looks like. Oh, Pango actually turned around for the bounty rinser. What a hero. And he's got his shield crashed over the wall. Great plays from Strawberry Cheesecake. Clearly playing this hero a lot. Honestly, this cosmetic is like cancerous. I don't know where the cliff starts and ends because of these walls. These walls aren't representative of what the cliff actually looks like. So I need to transition out of this skin because it's not working out. at this. What the hell is this? This cliff line is not straight.
Dire's top tower is under siege. Radiant have fortified their towers.
So it actually ended up being all 4 bounty runes going the way of
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
what's in your Warlock, and the Wraith King getting stalked now. It's actually a point in the mana burn, but Wraith King doesn't have a whole lot of mana to burn because he's not a very smart hero.
Tower is under siege.
But it could make the difference between getting the reincarnation and not. It's on cooldown anyway, so I guess it's a non-factor. But this top tower gonna go down now, and GH, he's gonna walk into the enemy jungle. He gets spotted, so gets poison touch, and he's in really deep here. Rotation is coming in from the Dazzle, the Lesh and the Pango, and GH is gonna go down here. He walks right into the jungle, and ABC in the meantime also might go down here. The Stampede came out not in time to save the Razor, and a horde forward. ABC manages to steal Spectral Dagger and jukes them a little bit up and down the hill, but he will get swashbuckled and taken out. So GH, I'm not really sure what it was doing going top. There was no vision anywhere of like the dire heroes, so it's a bit questionable.
Invisibility.
Is popped by the Lash. We'll see what he wants to do with it. He's heading mid. The rest of where the Razor is, they could get a pretty easy kill with the just an easy split swashbuckle, and this is going to be the easiest split earth of his life. Razor in so much trouble, he is going to get taken down.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
And the boys have come out now to push this tower down. No aura items on the Wraith King. He's going for the good old Midas Radiance, the Life Stealer build. And it's just the 2 of us down here. The Wraith Fire Blast goes out onto the Dazzle, but not going to be able to follow up. The boys are running at them though, so it's time to run. Lesh has TP'd in, and we see Nyx now finally under the sentry. And I have to try and tank the gank, but you know, Wraith King, he helps me out a little bit. But we don't have any heroes coming. Lesh is here now. She's going to destroy everyone. Although he's getting really low here. There's still no rotations from the other heroes on Facebook, and Wraith King, he's gonna lose his first life, and it looks like he might go down again. He takes out the Nyx in the meantime, but a split earth as well as a follow-up, and Wraith King is gonna go down. No one from the side of Facebook responding. No TPs except Senso had a TP but wasn't able to help out. Also could have maybe stampeded, but I'm not really sure. I was pretty salty about that death. And Slick Willy gets instantly taken out by the Plasma Field, and a stolen swashbuckle by the Rubik here, but Rolling Thunder comes out now. Rubik might be in a bit of trouble. The Shield Crash hits him at the same time as the Rolling Thunder. It looks like Strawberry Cheesecake's just going to be able to get out of there. He went for a Headdress and then a Maelstrom, which is a little bit odd, but maybe just thinking that he didn't need to go for the Greaves early and could finish off the Maelstrom. He already had the Javelin from the early game. You have to go Javelin, but Swashbuckle miss from the Rubik. Only got 1 hit, but there's no passive, so there's no way to slow them down either. It's pretty inferior. Razor Plasma Fields forward. There's no Spike Carapace from the Nyx, but Nyx is in pretty deep here. He misses the Impale onto the Rubik, and Warlock channeling the upheaval, but he's got to get out of here now. CSC got slowed down pretty significantly by that, and Wraith King is coming in. There's time for What's in Your Warlock to back out here, but Wraith King's here now with his okay Newsfeed, and a Wraithfire Blast onto the Nyx. He gets Split Earth and into an Impale, so Rockhawk is getting really low, and he doesn't have Reincarnation, so he needs to be careful here. Warlock also getting low, and ABC as well, but GH, he manages to get kill onto the Shrek, and a Wraithfire Blast onto the Spectre. The bounty runes have come up, and I think it's time to disengage for both teams. Everyone running out of steam a little bit. Maybe he's looking for the rune here, but it looks like it's already going to be taken. I'm not really sure what he expected. And Dazzle was going to be the first one to TP top. I think I really wanted to TP top, but I didn't have... it was off cooldown, even if I wanted to have one. And ABC is going to pick up at least one as well. So 2 for 2 bounty runes, and pretty big clash there. This game, a lot more even than the first game. This game was almost over at this point in the first game, but less than a 1k gold lead for what's in your Warlock. ABC bullying the Dazzle a little bit. He's still got Swashbuckle, so it's a pretty nice deal for Rubik. It gives him an initiation option. You can cast Telekinesis during the Swashbuckle as well. I'm pretty sure you can. Or you can use it to like close the distance into a Telekinesis, which is pretty nice. And Strawberry Cheesecake, he picks up an Invis, but gets spotted by the Warlock. And Rubik's gonna get taken out by Nyx here. It's a pretty easy Rubik kill, I guess.
Bottom tower is being attacked.
This is a hard Rubik game though. The Nyx, the Spectre can just get right on top of you. Even Leshrac, once he gets BKB, can just run at you. And Lesh gonna go for an ATOS first. Pretty standard stuff. You can set yourself up for a split earth, but Ro8 in a lot of danger here. He might just get split earth here. The Rolling Thunder comes through. Ro8, he's gonna lose his first life here. GH is in town now, and he gets split earth instantly, but huge damage coming out onto the Warlock here, and he's gonna get taken out. And meanwhile, oh, that's right, Centaur disconnected. I was wondering, yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, we could have gotten the Pango kill, but Centaur just crashed. Oh, I seem to remember this pause went for ages. So, in the state of this game, Pango, he's going to go for Greaves next, so that's pretty normal as well. Got a pretty decently timed Maelstrom. Raking at the top of the net worth chart, pretty normal because he's got a Midas. I mean, Spectre's not that far behind. She's almost got a Relic. And Pangolier with a celebratory disconnect. Razor also doing pretty well this game, actually ahead on net worth of Leshrac, so surprising that even though Leshrac got a solo kill, Razor, he just stayed in mid and took the tower. Leshrac went for a bunch of rotations. They weren't quite worth it. It's pretty hard to justify rotating as a mid before taking this mid tower, because this is the most important tower of the game. It controls the entrance into the jungle, so your job as a mid player is to try and take the enemy mid before they take yours. And Leshrac, he abandoned his duty and he just went to the top to try and kill the Centaur, and then that took a really long time, and then he never went back mid, and then Razor ended up taking the tower anyway in mid. So he's managed to squeeze his way ahead of the Leshrac. So Razor's off to a pretty decent start, and he's picked up a hood as well, so might turn that into a pipe later as well. His Centaur might not be getting a pipe for a while. He's almost got Blink, which it would be pretty nice for Facebook, because then they can have an initiation. Because right now, Wraith King's not really thinking about Blink. He's gonna need one eventually, but probably after the Radiance. Radiance as a farming item. There's no Chaotic offering right now, so this might not be a fight you want to take. The Golem's down, but I'm just going to send my Golem at the tower and try and get more kills on the side. Dazzle getting blown up instantly. The Centaur ulti with the Blink Dagger onto the Leshrac, and Leshrac, he might go down again here. He's getting really low. He gets Wraith Fire Blast, but a nice stun from the Nyx gets both heroes, and 3 heroes down for Facebook now. That was almost a really good fight. They end up getting Leshrac, but Warlock goes down too, and GH, it's time to run. He needs to be able to get out of here, but he might get cornered. Nyx is going to spot him out. They're going to run. No, they're going to stop chasing. He's got an ATOS as well. But what started looking like a really good fight for Facebook turned really quickly. Nyx with a big 3-man impale. We got baited in by Leshrac a little bit too hard. We saw that he just died at bot, and then he TP'd in. We wanted to kill him again because that would really tilt him. But we ended up getting baited in too deep, and he's probably laughing his ass off. So, I mean, who's laughing now? I guess it's definitely CSC. That was a bit of an overextension for us. Like I mentioned, we had the Golem. We didn't even get the tower. That was the worst part of it, right? I sent the Golem at the tower, but maybe I should have sent it the heroes. There's a lot of choices to make there, but I don't think we made the right one by fighting at all. But Centaur, that was the blink reveal. We didn't really get much out of it. Nice dodge of the poison touch. So he's going to be able to get out of there. You think he would have been in a lot of trouble if he didn't dodge it. So Spectre, that was a big fight for her as well. She is pretty close to the Radiance now. And also Spectre and Pango managing to pull ahead in the net worth chart on top of the Wraith King and Razor. So finally pulling ahead a little bit, but Pango's going to reveal himself, and this is going to be a pretty big kill because Pango's at the top of the net worth, so he's going to get taken out before he can do anything. And solid swashbuckle again for the for ABC. It's actually pretty hard to steal the ulti from Pango, and that was a bit of a mistake for me. I probably shouldn't have walked up that hill, and it's going to cost me my team pretty significantly. I go down, and Rubik's also going to go down here, but we're also forced to use Stampede. I kind of messed up there. I probably shouldn't. I should have expected them to be there, to be honest.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
But Wraith King's farming all this time, so in my head I'm like space created, and he's gonna grab the bot tower as well with the boys. 20-minute bounty runes, and Seto's gonna be able to pick at least one of them. So finally, for the first time this game, bounty runes is in our favor, and because it's later in the game, we managed to almost get 2k back. But right before that Pango died, we were 2k gold down, but somehow we're back to even. The boys continuing to push the bot tower here, and we're kind of looking for a fight here because we see that the Pango's in mid, so this could be a pretty decent opportunity for us. Unfortunately, they've got this high ground ward here, and for some reason I didn't de-ward it. Is that the problem? Is I can't see it? Yeah. It's kind of weird like that. You only get the vision. Oh, Slick Willy, he's in a bit of trouble, but he's going to get telekinesis here and eventually taken out. The double edge will finish him off. That was pretty intense. And Pipe next on the Razor, trying to help his team tank up against the Leshrac. Yeah, so the thing with Sentry Wards is, I don't know if this is always the case or they changed it, but like it only gives vision when you drop it and not afterwards. So I put down the Sentry Ward first, so I actually can't see this at all, and I was like pretty sure at this point. I'm like, oh, there's like no vision here, let's try and wrap around, but then we didn't see it. So I'm actually kind of frustrated that looking back at this game, I thought I was like doing my due diligence to get rid of their vision, but it just, we have no way of seeing onto the high ground. I guess we have Plasma Field, but it's kind of annoying to coordinate that, and I had no reason to believe it. But a big fight's going to start here. Strawberry Cheesecake going to Rolling Thunder forward, hit the Wraith King and the Rubik, and Rubik's going to go down here pretty quickly. The Stampede comes out, so Nick's in a lot of trouble, but a nice Swashbuckle will do a lot of damage here. Maybe gets the kill on Slick Willy as well. So Strawberry Cheesecake in a lot of trouble, but Leshrac's here now. The first life is down from the Wraith King. The Unstable Current will finish off the Pangali, and Leshrac goes down as well. Buyback on the Dazzle, and Pyrochat in a little bit of danger. Maybe Slick Willy will go down as well, but it looks like Rockhawk is just going to TP out of here, and I'm trying to use the Golem to take out the tower, but the backdoor protection is up, so I'm really disappointed in that. So all things considered, that was a pretty good fight for us. We lost the Rubik pretty early on. The Wraith King ended up dying once, but it's fine. He's back to farming, and it's a level 2 ulti, so it's a bit shorter. We forced a buyback from the Dazzle and got 4 kills. That's we couldn't get the Spectre. I think that would have been really big for us, but Spectre's kind of elusive. Picked up the Spectral Dagger talent cooldown as well. Alright, Haste Fruit on the deck. I'm just gonna pick it up. Nyx is going for an Ags, and let me tell you, Ags on Nyx is so fun to play. It's just like, alright, well, it's time to drop the Sentry. I have vision of him, so I'm able to do this. And I've also got a Haste Rune, so not really too much to be afraid of.
Dire's top
GH
tower
is going to
under
TP out of there as well. And this game has slowed down a little bit now as we're back to farming mode. And in terms of items that will make a big impact on the game, the Silver Edge is going to help Wraith King get kills on the Spectre, although not really a traditional Wraith King item. And Wraith King's going to get caught out here. Doesn't have Reincarnation either. Turns on the Blade Mail, but there's 4 heroes, so it's not going to help that much. So big kill for what's in your Warlock. Wraith King's down for 50 seconds. That's a really long time. He's getting caught out on his own. So Rubik with the classic double boots. Not really sure what that was about. I didn't even see that. So I went and bought a gem because I was sick of. I felt like they had vision everywhere, but I don't know. This one I'm still really salty about. But also it's really good against the Nyx. It's kind of hard to figure out when you should buy a gem, especially against an invis hero like Nyx. Big smoke up from what's in your Warlock. The Nyx goes into Vendetta pretty early on. ABC is going to reveal himself and he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. But a haunt onto the Centaur means he's going to be in trouble as well. He tries to TP out of there, but is he going to make it out? He gets Yuled by CSC and the Split Earth fell off as well. It doesn't even need it. CSC gets a double kill, so he's recovered pretty well. He's catching up to the Razor. Actually, the gaps may have gotten a bit bigger actually. Razor and Wraith King are pretty farmed right now. And Razor's also going for a Greaves, which is a little bit odd for a mid-Razor. But Centaur's not really the kind of hero to buy Greaves. It's kind of hard to justify why. It seems like it would make sense on him, like he needs armor as well. But it just doesn't feel like the item on Centaur. But as Rolling Thunder for Strawberry Cheesesteak to get out of there. And he's going to come back in and manages to clip GH and the Wraith King, but Nyx is going to be the sacrifice here. It's time to run if you're what's in your Warlock. And they see this coming. Managed to get the D ward at last. Pyrotrap, he's messing with fire here. Stampede forward. The telekinesis is on cooldown, so they need to get the Wraith Fire Blast. Atos first onto the Spectre. And do they have enough damage to take her out? She's pretty tanky. The Shallow Grave will slow this down a little bit. And Pyrotrap, the Spectral Dagger runs out. He's onto the high ground, but he's still going to go down here. It's a big kill. Spectre down for 60 seconds. They can take this tower, although the creep wave is pretty far back. Still plenty of time, although Spec will have Haunt in 20 seconds. Maybe whiffs the blink onto the Lesh, so that's not very good at all. And this is a pretty good opportunity for what's in your Warlock to take a fight. They just saw Centaur TP bot, so they know it's at most 4v4 here. And Spectre, she can bite back in now and get the Haunt. So Nyx comes in with the Impale, and Rubik is going to get blown up again. The Rolling Thunder gets cancelled, slowed down by the Chaos Golem, but it's not going to be enough to stop him, and he's just bouncing through here. The upheaval will finally end because Warlock finally gets hit by the Rolling Thunder, but Lesh and Nyx are going to go down here. And the T2 tower taken, a great fight for Facebook. And looks like the go is high ground. They want to try and force buybacks from the Lesh and the Nyx. Only Lesh has buyback, but Facebook don't know that. And Lesh, he bites back. It's time to run if you're Facebook, but there's no Stampede right now for 8 seconds. And are they going to be able to get out of here? Big swashbuckle in, Haunt as well, and a nice 2-man split earth on the Rubik and the Razor. Wraith King's going to lose his first life here. The Stampede finally comes out, but it might be a bit too late. The Warlock and the Razor run in separate directions, but Razor getting chased down by the Spectre. He's slowed down by the Spectral Dagger. Another Spectral Dagger comes out. GH is in a lot of trouble here. He has the Static Link, so he can use that against the Spectre if she goes into the Deep. And the Static Link is activated. I have the Storm activated as well, so it looks like Razor's going to be okay. And Centaur in the meantime just doing his own thing. I do remember being pretty mad at him because he told us to go high guys, like, oh don't worry, I'll stampede you guys out, and then it was on cooldown for like 8 seconds and Lesh fought back. But I think we could have just like not committed as hard, maybe just had the Wraith King attack the tower until the Stampede was up. That would have been the only way to make that safer. Because I think we still wanted to force the buyback, and we did do that. Lesh, unfortunately, didn't die there. It would have been pretty huge for us. And we also kind of got wiped a little bit. We lost the Wraith King, which is a pretty big deal. So, Nick's almost done with the Ags, and I mean, Wraith King is going for a Silver Edge. He's not going to have BKB anytime soon. Razor also doesn't have BKB yet, and neither does Centaur, so this Nyx Axe is going to be very effective here. Normally, when you get it, like, everyone has BKBs already, but no one on the side of Facebook has BKBs right now, so Nyx is just going to run wild in the next few fights. I understand, like, the Silver Edge is important, but I don't think it's worth giving up BKB for. It's pretty much the same price, but Facebook, they're going to smoke into the Ro8 pit. This should be relatively free, although they don't have a whole lot of minus armor, so it might take a while here. And a big scan from What's in Your Warlock come out, and they need to mobilize now. They're still a pretty slow Ro8, but it looks like they should get there in time to contest it. Spectre, she's just going to do her own thing and then haunt into the fight. But most of What's in Your Warlock here, the Lesh is the last person to arrive. Nyx comes in first, the Haunt comes out onto the whole team. A nice 3-man impale inside the Ro8 pit, and the Pangolese going nuts in there just with the Rolling Thunder, keeping everyone stunned like the whole time. Warlock with a big Chaos Golem as well, but it's not going to work. I tried to Fatal Bonds the Ro8, but it didn't work here because he blocked it with the Lincoln, so I really messed up there. A nice crit from Rating will finish off the Nyx Assassin, but Rating now in a lot of trouble. Spectre actually getting really low, and Spectre's going to go down. No buyback for 70 seconds. The Razor in the meantime going to get taken out by the Lesh here. The Glimmer Cape won't save him, and now Facebook are completely outnumbered. CSC is going to go on a rampage here. He's going to get a triple kill already, and Rawhawk also in a lot of danger here. Looks like Rawhawk's also going to tear down. Missing the Blade Mail. A nice Shallow Grave will save the Pangolin from the Wraith King. Atos onto the Wraith King, but he's still Shadow Bladed, but he's going to go down as well. Ultra kill for CSC, and the Ro8 is up for taking now. That was a huge fight from What's in Your Warlock there. But Nyx opened with a blind 3-man impale into the Ro8 pit, and then Pangolin just rolled in and did so much damage there. Oh, actually, I guess it wasn't blind. He used the Haunt. But huge kills, and well, Centaur might be in a bit of trouble, but he turns on the Blade Mail, so he'll be okay. And Strawberry Cheesecake is going to be the one to take the Aegis. Lesh a little bit too far away. I feel like Lesh might be a bit better, especially because he's holding the gem now, which he took off me. I'm really salty about that one. I felt like maybe that fight could have gone better for us if I didn't try to Fatal Bonds the Ro8. I think I really fucked up in that fight. Is the Ro8 still had the Lincolns up and it got blocked, and then like my Fatal Bonds did nothing. I feel like we might have killed the Lesh a lot earlier in that fight. Maybe even had a chance to kill him at all. But that was a big fight for What's in Your Warlock. And for the first time this game, the gold lead has swung completely wide open. That was like almost a 10k gold swing in the last few minutes. So Centaur gonna go for a heart next. Again, still not going for a BKB, so Centaur's not really known too much for going BKB, I suppose, but this game, the Nyx finally has his Ag Scepter. He's going to destroy everyone. Raking finally still working to his way towards the Silver Edge and has an AC queued up, so not even thinking about BKB. I feel like Wraith King, he's not going to be able to do anything in the late game fights. He's just going to get mana burned by the Nyx non-stop, and then he's going to get impaled, and then like the Spike Carapace as well, the mini Ravage. It's going to be really hard for this Wraith King. Razor's still working towards his BKB as well. It feels like it's really late this game. Nyx scouting at the enemy team. He's under vision, so maybe gonna get a telekinesis into a hoof stomp, but Nyx seems like he's gonna get out of here. The Stampede is activated, and GH following CSC now. Nice dodge of the impale from the Nyx Assassin, but Nyx with a 40% damage reduction. He's still gonna almost go down here. The Shallow Grave comes out, and the Haunt onto the back lines. The Chaos Golem's down as well, but Rolling Thunder now doing a ton of damage. Rubik stealing the Rolling Thunder here, but he's not going to be able to hit the Dazzle. And Warlock's going to go down as well. So ABC, he's almost going to go down here. Lesh gets taken down by the second golem, and Slick Willy as well also goes down to the other golem. Razor did die in the meantime though, to the spec in the background. So Warlock with a triple kill, the boys are doing it. These are the other big boys, and Spectre can't really fight these boys. Forced to Spectral Dagger out of there. It looks like she's going to be okay. Just going to TP out. No way to put down a Tinker Ward here to see her, but I guess Telekinesis is also on cooldown. Could have been possible. Wraith King, in the meantime, didn't even fight there. Has the Silver Edge now, but won't have buyback if he decides to go for it. So this is pretty risky. And then, like, he's going to go for an AC next, which means he's still not going to get BKB. Just buy BKB, please. I remember being pretty mad about it this game. And Pango gonna go for an Ag Scepter. He's finished it up, and so he's gonna get these beautiful 2-hit swashbuckles on every shield crash. It's so good. It's such a good Ags. Here we go. Oh, nope, doesn't even use the shield crash for that. Gonna go for an MKB next. It's probably the biggest damage item you can go on Pangolier. It effectively adds 300 damage onto the swashbuckle. More often than not. Rockhawk with the newly purchased Silver Edge, but not going to be able to pressure the Spectre alone. Wraith King's not really that kind of hero, but Spec is also not really a hero you can take down very easy. The plus 500 talent at level 20 is pretty good. Also going to go for a heart next, so this Spectre's going to have close to 4,000 HP. The Hawk comes out now onto bot, and Strawberry Cheesecake, he activates the Rolling Thunder. ABC's not able to steal it right now with all these shield catches as well. These shield catches are going huge. Warlock pops, but the Death Golem comes out. The Golem gets hit by the Rolling Thunder, gets impaled by the Nyx as well, and Wraith King now in a lot of trouble. The Razor's Plasma Field gets reflected by the Nyx Assassin, and another 2-man stun onto the Golem and the Razor, and yeah. And Nyx just doing so much work here. Another Spike Carapace comes out, another Impale comes out, another Swash, Shield Crash comes out, and Nyx just doing so much work here. He's not going to go down. Nice Swashbuckle into a bash, gets Atos and a broke onto the Pango, but it's not going to do much, and Wraith King, he's going to go down again. He's almost close to death. Razor gets taken out here, and Leshrac, he's just going to run down ABC here. He has mana for Arcane Boots soon, so but he's going to go down here. Still Split Earth, which is pretty good. He's going to try and TP out of here, but the Impale catches him just at the last second. And Rockhawk is going to be the only survivor here. I think maybe Centaur made it out as well. But another huge fight for Amazon. Fuck, not Amazon. What's in your Warlock? I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
Is demolished.
Or am I? Razor buys back into the game now. He's kind of forced to at this point because they're threatening high ground. Leshrac pushes very fast. So, nice high ground sentry combo for what's in your Warlock. I had no idea that was there at all. And Nyx getting another Impale, but safely not really going to be enough. This Nyx did so much work in the last fight. I would love to see the stats for him, like how many seconds he's disabled heroes this game. That fight alone was probably like 100 seconds worth of disables added up against like all the units he stunned. Lesh also super tanky now, a Lotus Orb and a Pipe, so a lot of damage reduction coming out from him, and maybe he's in a little bit of danger, but he'll get the blink out. Interesting that, so people have been talking about this like Sumail build where you go for like Kaya Yasha and then pick the movement speed talent and move at like 1 billion move speed per second. Leshraka's CSE is not opted to go for the Sumail build, but he's still pretty fast anyway, 471 move speed. It's just that he could have pretty much perma haste with the Kaya Yasha boots of travel. So Facebook, they need to get BKBs. Razor's still working his way towards his. It feels like he's been working on it for so long, but he had to buy back there. So Warlock almost done with the Axe, and this is going to be a pretty big pickup for them. The Chaos Golem has been pretty successful so far, and Nice Wraith Fire Blast onto the Pangoli, but the Dazzle's here. The Spectre haunts in, and Pango, he might still go down, but the Rolling Thunder gets cancelled by the Warlock Golem, but a big 3-man split Earth onto the side of Facebook. Wraith King has to use his second life, and Warlock's gonna go down. The second Golem comes out. Strawberry Cheesecake also gonna chase down the Centaur here, and a complete disaster for Facebook, but maybe Leshrac will go down as a consolation prize. It's a long time dead, and a break onto the Spectre. Spectre getting really low. One more hit from the Golems will finish him off. 25 kills on the Warlock Relic. Wraith King, he's finally switched up. He's going for BKB now. And Razor managed to survive as well, so he's well on his way to the BKB. It was actually a surprisingly good fight for Facebook, because actually got all of the cores except for 2 cores. Sorry, the Spectre and the Lesh. But Nyx is in the back lines. He gets the break onto the Wraith King, but Nyx is also going to go down here. This is a pretty big pickup for Facebook. Can they pressure this Rax a bit? They don't push very fast without the boys, and the boys are not available right now to push. So 50 seconds till Spec is up, but they probably don't want to fight here. Looks like Facebook is gonna maybe get this lane of Rax pretty convincingly. Pango uses the Greaves to cancel the ATOS to get stunned, but no follow up here. And looks like Facebook, they're gonna get the Rax here and be able to back out afterwards. Nice pick up on the Pangoli here, and the Wraith Fire Blast as well. Pangoli gets Shallow Grave by the Dazzle before he goes down. Huge save from the Dazzle here, but looks like he might go down as the sacrifice, but a Glimmer Cape will buy some time, and Facebook, they might not even get the Raxi. Pango's gonna TP back in, but he gets cancelled. Okay, Facebook, they finally grab the Rax. It's time to back out. There's no Ags on the Razor, so they can't take it that quickly. Rockcork, he's gonna stay for the Rax. He's got the Shadow Blade, so he might be able to get out of here. Stampede will help them run away from the Rolling Thunder a little bit, so Strawberry Cheesecake isn't gonna be able to hit anyone this Rolling Thunder. A nice escape from Facebook. So Facebook actually turned that one around pretty well. It's almost back to a 1k gold lead, so a huge 10k gold swing going their way in after that most recent fight. And Centaur almost done with Ags. Do like this more than I can't remember what it was going for before, but it wasn't a good item. But Ags would be nice because it will help add some damage reduction to the team. It's gonna help Rubik. Rubik's really struggling this game. Centaur almost with Axe, but if he picks it up, he won't have buyback, which could be pretty costly. GH finally with the BKB, and Wraith King has money for his own BKB as well, but he also won't have buyback, and it's going to be quite a while before he has enough money for both. Centaur picks up his Ags, it's a very risky play there, and looks like Wraith King's also going to buy his. Actually, just go straight for a AC. A big smoke up from Facebook here. And they're gonna see the Nyx Assassin first. If they can get him, he's a big part of their control. Wraith King gets the stun onto the Nyx Assassin. It's gonna be a big kill, but the Shallow Grave on the Nyx Assassin won't finish him off. And a nice double golem from the Warlock here, but Pangoli, he's doing so much damage. He has a nice 2-man shield crash. Wraith King loses his first life. Paratrout in a little bit of trouble here. Another Shallow Grave on him, but Warlock is dishing out so much damage. And Pangoli with another huge shield crash. And everyone on the side of Facebook doesn't have buyback. They bought all their items out. Rubik, he died back there. The Centaur bought an Axe, and Wraith King spent all his money as well, so did the Razor. Oh, this game could just suddenly end for Facebook. Just the Shrek push is so fast. So Warlock, he buys back instantly. My goal was to try and push the lanes out, but I saw the Lesh and I instantly had to back out. Like, this got way too scary, way too quickly. And I'm like stuck outside my base now because I see the enemies are everywhere and I have to run in the opposite directions. And Lesh is just gonna take the game at this point. We really fucked up here.
Middle tower is being attacked.
I'm still not really sure why the Wraith King didn't go for BKB at the end there, but still we should have waited for it. I honestly thought we were really far ahead after we took the throne, the racks, but then I guess I just underestimated the Panko's damage input. He did a ton of damage in that last fight, and Lesh is gonna be able to take out the throne here.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. The Dire understand Dota better than
So I could definitely see where my team made a lot of mistakes in that game. I think we kind of just moved out at the wrong time all of the time. I think the itemization, I still think the BKB was so much better on the rating. Razor also got his BKB super late as well. This Nyx caused so much trouble for us. Honestly, we had to like either get it next game or ban it, because I mean we also played Nyx, so I think Nyx is a super good hero, and that's you're seeing right here. Like, he has applications in the late game as well. He's not just a mid game hero. With the Ags, he's had so much impact in that game. But we're going to a game 3. This will be an exciting finale.